because we're good people. Doesn't mean we won't kill you. 5 of them aren't back in an hour. I'll put a knife in the base of your skull.
What is going on, guys? This is my mid-season finale of season 2 review, episode 7, entitled Pretty Much Dead Already. Like I said in the last review, this is probably, if not the best, my favorite, easily in the top 2 or 3 favorite episodes of all time. The end of the episode was just one of the best endings, just shock value, Walker kills, just great lines, just everything. It was awesome. But anyways, let's jump right into this review. Episode starts out, everybody, all the survivors are outside, they're all eating breakfast, and they're, just doing more normal things and everything. And Glenn, he looks over towards the house, and he can see Maggie shaking her head no, and on the porch and everything. And then, of course, he looks over to Dale, and Dale nods, yeah, it's time to let everybody know about the walkers in the barn. So Glenn goes ahead and, reveals there's walkers in the barn. Everybody, of course, whips their head around real quick and everything. And they immediately go in to investigate, with Shane taking the lead, of course. And Shane, of course, is like, tells Rick, you can't be all right with this. And of course, Rick says, no, I'm not, but this isn't our land. And, of course, Shane said, well, we got to go in there. We got to make this right, or we just got to go. And then, of course, we've been talking about Fort Benning for a while now. And, of course, Carol's like, no, we can't go yet. We haven't found Sophia yet. And, of course, Shane, he said, Carol, you got to actually start considering the other possibility. And, of course, Daryl, defends Carol, insists that he's close because he found her doll, a couple days ago. And, of course, Shane's like, yeah, that's it, Daryl, you found a doll. And then, they start getting into it. Then, Rick has to separate them and everything. And so they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And, of course, Rick's like, let me talk to Herschel. Let me talk to him. Let me see if I can talk him into it. This is his land, And then Dale reveals to Rick that Herschel sees the walker as sick people, and with good reason. This only makes Shane more mad at Dale for not telling them sooner, but Dale thought they would be fine. The walkers in the barn start rocking the barn doors, and the survivors know they will have to deal with the issues soon. Of course, Shane stands guard at the barn, testing the locks, everything, and that's one thing on his mind is he's got to exterminate them, basically. And, of course, Dale's got all the guns. He's keeping them in his RV because Herschel didn't want nobody to carry. So, he grabs for his gun, and he doesn't have it, and he just looks really frustrated. Glenn tries to speak to Maggie. Of course, she blows him off and smashes an egg on inside of his hat on his head and everything. And Carl and Lori, they're talking about Sophia, and Carl doesn't want to leave the farm. Even if they do find Sophia, he wants to stay there. And Carol tells Daryl, maybe we need to stop looking. Maybe she is dead. Maybe you stop looking. I don't want you to die too. Daryl gets angered by this, and he storms out. At the RV, Dale loans Glenn his hat. Inside, Andrea is arming herself to go search for Sophia with Rick. Dale tries to warn Andrea about Shane, but she doesn't agree with him, of course. After Andrea leaves, Dale asks Glenn to get some water. Dale gathers up all the guns. He's probably, he's going to try to hide them because, Shane's a loose cannon. He's probably going to try to come get the guns and take care of it himself, As Herschel is having lunch in the house, Rick tries to, talk him in, to clearing the barn and telling him, he found out about the barn and they need to get cleared to be safe. And Herschel, gets mad about it, demands him to leave by the end of the week. And Rick confronts him about the reality they face. He tells him it's not what you saw in the news, it's much, much worse, And, he tells him to give him another chance, basically, So Rick joins Shane at the barn and tells him that Lori is pregnant, with Shane has a crazy look on his face. That's the reason that Rick, doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay, because she's pregnant and everything. Later on, Herschel finds Rick and says, if y'all people are gonna stay here, you're gonna have to do things his way, his property, his barn, his way. And he asked Rick to come with him to help him and Jimmy do something. And of course, what it is they have some walkers in the mud, stuck in the mud, and they try to use these like animal harness things or snares or whatever you want to call them to get the walkers, lead them back into the barn like Otis was doing. So I guess Otis was doing that when he was alive. So Rick tries to play along, because he really desperately wants to stay. And Shane's on the warpath. He goes to the RV looking for the guns. He can't find them. He asks Glenn, who's on watch on top, he say, "You've seen Dale?" And he said, "No, he went to go get some water." You didn't say which way he went. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell you which way he went. He said, "No, of course not." Because he goes, "Well, why would he do that?" Because he knew you would. He knew you would tell me where he went. And of course, Glenn's like, "I don't get it." He said, "Nah, man, you don't." So Shane goes off tracking for Dale because he's pretty sure that he's got the guns, and of course he's right. And he ends up tracking him down, and tells him, "Give me the guns, do it now. We got to eliminate this threat." And of course, Dale's real hesitant, doesn't want to do it, but then he ends up giving it to him in the end. Basically, he tells Shane, "This is where you belong, Shane. This world where it is now, this is where you belong." So he ends up giving him the guns reluctantly. When Shane gets back to the farm, he starts handing out the guns, telling them they gotta end this threat. They gotta do it now. And then of course, while they're talking, Lori's trying to tell Shane, this isn't your call, this isn't your decision to make, and everything. And as they look back, they see Herschel, Jimmy, and Rick with these walkers they got on the snares and everything. And of course, Shane's like, "What the hell?" And Shane and all the rest of the crew, they run down and then they intercept them before they get them into the barn. And Shane's trying to tell them how it is. Basically tells Herschel, these things ain't sick. They're not people. They're dead. You ain't got to care for them. All they do, they kill. These things right here. He starts naming off, they killed Amy, they killed Otis, and they're going to kill all of us if we don't do something about it. And of course, then he shows Herschel that, they're not living people. He shoots the one that Herschel's holding with the snare, and, 3 times in the chest, basically tells him if that person was alive, why are they still coming? Boom, boom, he keeps shooting them. And then, he ends up shooting it in the head to show that, boom, that's the only way to kill it is the headshot, If it was a normal person, you shoot in the heart, it's done, it's dead, it's not going to be moving. So just, Shane trying to prove his point. And so he ends up, of course, busting the lock on the barn. And then the barn massacre, just one of the best scenes ever in the show. Just Shane and T-Dog and Daryl and Glenn and Andrea just fucking mowing down all the walkers. It was freaking epic. And then, of course, at the end, after all the walkers are done, they're standing there, and of course, who emerges from the barn? Walker Sophia, of course. All this time they were looking for 7 episodes. They were looking for this little girl. She got put in the barn, probably by Otis before he got killed, of course. So it's just, very sad way, to end it. And then, of course, Rick feels guilty about it, of course. So he thinks he should be the one to put her down. So he steps up in front of everybody, takes his revolver out, and shoots her in the head, ends it, and ends that little story arc for this season. It was an insane end to it. Epic freaking scene. Shane telling him how it is. Basically, Rick now in season 6 is what Shane was in season 2. He was way ahead of his time. So yeah, very awesome way to end the first half of the second season. And like I said, one of my favorites of all time. Pretty much dead already. So like I said, I appreciate y'all checking out this review, and I'll be back soon with to continue season 2. Not sure when it might be. It might be a few days or so, but I'll try to, like I said, I'm gonna try to get the majority of these done before season 6 returns. And we've got a month and a day as of today, so we're almost there, guys. Season 6 will be back before you know it. Like I said, Thanks for all the support, and I'll holla at y'all next time.
Welcome to Woodburn.